Hey guys, it's David here, and on this episode of Ask David, I have two very special guests for you guys. My parents! Richard and Madeline, those are their names.
Hi!
Hi everybody!
I feel so honored to be a part of a YouTube blog. Actually, that's probably vlog.
I'm home for Thanksgiving, and I'm back in my old house where I used to film videos, and I figured that I would just have you guys ask them some questions about me. Hopefully they're not too strange. So here we go! Eric Lyons asks, we heard David's account of his coming out. How do David's parents remember it? Hashtag Ask David.
Well, he was actually rather organized about it. He called us into the living room and told us he had something important to tell us. And he told us exactly where we had to sit, and he sat in front of us. And went right out and told us exactly what he was thinking about. We were very accepting. We didn't challenge it or said anything else and just listened, pretty much.
I know that David was concerned about our reaction, but we had been supportive all along, and I think it was a relief for him to just hear us verbalize our feelings and know that he's going to be supported throughout his life.
Jay Andy tweeted at me, ask your parents what they think of Lady Gaga.
Oh, I love Lady Gaga. She says theater in itself.
Yes.
This the entire persona.
Well, we watched interviews of her together and talked about how smart she is.
She's almost like a stage unto herself. Just the way she dresses and choreographs her work.
I had a little bit of a difficulty since I'm a pianist, showing the piano on fire. Wow, she must not like pianos very much. I think she's very smart, like Madonna, knows how to manufacture her career.
Andre Sylvia asked, what are David's best and worst qualities? Hashtag Ask David.
I admire David for his understanding of the world. He gets it. He gets how life works. He knows protocol. He knows how to find opportunities. I see success in his future.
This is what I get for having my mom on my YouTube channel.
I'm slightly biased. His faults, maybe not leaving enough time to do certain things, trying to do it all, and getting a little bit perplexed and overwhelmed. In his maturity, maybe he'll just try to anticipate the length of certain activities, like not missing his flight home.
Because that didn't happen.
Oh no.
Evan Robholm, I'm sorry, Evan, has asked, has David ever done anything you disapproved of? If so, did he do it anyway or heed the advice of his elders? Hashtag Ask David.
The only thing that comes to mind that I remember that it was always a challenge was his bedtime hours. and what's interesting is that it hasn't changed.
They know from the tweets.
He must have been probably 13 or 14. It was, I guess, 1 in the morning. I said, David, it's time to go to bed. Of course, the challenge comes from David. Well, Papi, he calls me Papi. How am I doing in school? Am I getting in trouble? How are my grades? And of course, I said, well, everything is pretty good. So he looks at me, so what's your problem? Remember that?
I was a diva from a very young age. Thomas Leon asks, do you watch David's videos? What are your thoughts about him being an internet celebrity? Which is not something that I like to call myself.
I actually learned quite a bit about David when he's gone, and his friends and his values and his aspirations and his tremendous support for others. I think it's been mostly a really productive, inspiring journey. I'm of the mind that not everybody might be interested in all the things that he blogs about or tweets about, but most of it is intriguing.
I think it's fantastic, the range of ideas. I mean, it's certainly entertaining. But a lot of them are definitely thought-provoking. I really enjoy your music reviews. I enjoyed some of your political videos. I just like the fact that you're a role model for your generation. And so
I don't know if I go that far, but yeah.
Well, you are. You are. Maybe not to everybody, obviously, but even if you touch one individual, it's a lot.
Yeah, and that's why.
So.
That's why I do it. Raleigh asks, what is the most embarrassing story about David when he was a kid, and can you tell us?
It was a tradition to go to the Nutcracker. I think we went 10 times every year. When we were still living in New York, we went to D'Agostino's grocery store, and he insisted on going as Uncle Drosselmeyer. He had a rain cape that he put over his head and around his body, and that was his costume. I did my shopping with Uncle Drosselmeyer.
I just dressed up to go to the grocery store?
And boy, did we get a lot of attention.
Eric Benson asks, what's one of your favorite memories with David?
We went to New York to see his favorite play at the time, musical at the time, which he may deny now, Wicked.
I loved it. I burned that CD out.
How old were you?
I was in 5th grade.
5th grade. He was in Oz, no question about it. He just lit up for the entire, just soaking in the entire experience. And then I just remembered after the show was over, we went to a little donut shop. I don't know if you remember.
I actually
had chocolate and donuts, one of the donuts near Times Square. And just spent time talking about it, and that whole time for me was really magical.
I remember David's first really formal audition for a show at the JCC. He got into the show Fiddler on the Roof. He was enamored with Fiddler on the Roof, and he asked me to play along with his characterizing 4 of the characters in the show. The mothers, the daughters, the fathers, and the sons.
A one-man show of tradition.
So he got his props ready, he had his apron, his wig, and we went through the song, and he sang the whole song, changing from one character to the other. And it was awesome.
I performed it at the book fair at my school.
I wish I had filmed it.
So that's all for questions. I thank you guys so much for asking all these. There were some like really nice in-depth questions. And thank you guys obviously for being on the channel and for letting them observe you. I love you too.
It was an honor. My initiation.
Oh my. If you guys want to follow my dad on Twitter, he really wants Twitter followers. So I'll put his Twitter in the down bar. My mom doesn't have any social media. But maybe if you guys ask enough, she'll start a YouTube channel.
Never.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye!